Hello dear students, welcome back to EduHunt video lecture series. Let us discuss about some multiple choice questions based on the topic neuronal coordination, control and coordination. That is the first one. The impulses from central nervous system to skeletal muscles are relayed through. The impulses from the central nervous system. Central nervous system it consists of the brain and the vertebral column, that is spinal cord. From central nervous system to the skeletal muscles, the impulses are relayed through the somatic neuronal system. We haven't discussed it, but anyway, it was asked in the past. That's why I'm discussing here. Anyway, the impulses from the central nervous system, that is from the brain, will be carried out to the skeletal muscles through the somatic neural system. During resting stage, the axonal membrane this is also we haven't discussed. During resting stage is nothing but where the neurons are not actively transmitting the signals. During this stage, the membrane is said to be negatively charged, and because it is negatively charged, it is more permeable to positive ions, especially potassium ions. It becomes more permeable and less permeable or maybe impermeable to sodium ions. So, this is the probable answer. Sodium-potassium pump across membrane actively transports. Sodium-potassium pumps and gates are present on the membrane, neural membrane. So, these pumps are actively involved in exchanging the ions, the cations, anions. In cations, we have potassium and sodium. And for every 3 sodium ions moving out, 2 potassium ions will come in. So, in this 3 sodium ions move outward and 2 potassium ions get into the cell. This is the answer. The polarity of the membrane is reversed. Reversed means depolarized. It is negatively charged during that phase. Yes, it is directly given as the membrane is said to be depolarized. During action potential, and reversed means depolarized. Yes, and during action potential also, the polarity of the membrane gets reversed, and when there is nerve impulse at the site, so during action potential. So, obviously, the answer is all the above. Yes, this is the correct answer, all the above. Mark the correct statement. Electrical synapses are more common in neural system than chemical synapse. The new potential in postsynaptic neuron may be either excitatory or inhibitory. Hypothalamus is the major coordination center for sensory and motor signaling. The tract of nerve fibers that connect to cerebral hemispheres are called corpora bigemina. So the answer is the new potential in postsynaptic neuron may be either excitatory or inhibitory. It may be discussed later in later classes. The cerebral cortex is the outer layer of the cerebrum called white matter, inner layer of the cerebrum called white matter, the outer layer of the cerebrum called gray matter, and inner layer of the cerebrum called gray matter. This is the third option, that is outer layer of the cerebrum, which is called gray matter. The brainstem includes the parts of midbrain and hindbrain. The secretion of gastric juice is under the control of, it is controlled by medulla. Afferent neurons transmit impulses via dorsal nerve root 2. We have seen afferent and efferent, dorsal nerve root ventral. So, afferent neurons transmit impulses via dorsal nerve root central nervous system. Mark the correct statement. Limbic system is involved in emotional expression. Cerebral aqueduct passes through midbrain. The meninx in contact of brain tissue is pia mater. So all of these is the answer. Anyway, in this session we have seen some of the questions we have not discussed during explaining the concept. Anyway, in the later sessions and in the later classes, you will be going to know how the brain works, how the action potential carries out, how the potential of the membrane generates and it maintains. What about the gates? The sodium gates are there, pumps are there, and all these things will be discussed in the later classes, in higher classes. But don't bother about the questions that are little bit complicated, which were not discussed during the concept, but these were previously asked in the previous question papers of NEET. Don't bother about that, and we'll discuss later. You will be going to know the detailed process of conduction and transmission of nerve impulse, the structure in detail. By the way, we have discussed most of the sense organs, that is out of 4 sense organs we have covered, and also we are started answering the questions. Better at this moment you try to make a note on these questions and try to remember the answers, and if you remember, you will get more score, and the only thing is repetition, revision, that makes you perfect. Thank you.